Coming up today on Breeze TV.
How the community is coming together to mourn the loss of 3 students.
Then, 20 years of bringing Main Street back to life.
And Start Wearing Pink, women's basketball helps in the fight for a cure.
Plus, Man's Best Friend provides emotional support to students during times of need.
Love is in the air on this episode of Breeze TV.
Live from the Allison B. Parker Studio in the School of Media Arts and Design at James Madison University, this is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. I'm Maggie Rickerby.
And I'm Eric Shellhouse.
Luke Ferguson, Joshua Martis, and Nicholas Troutman, the 3 Dukes who passed away in a car accident 1 week ago. 2 other students, Campbell Fortune and Baird Westleader, survived and were transported to local hospitals. On Sunday, thousands of students gathered on the quad to remember the lives lost while friends shared memories. President Alger attended the vigil and said, quote, "We can't bring back the lives that have been lost, but we can honor them by sharing love, compassion, and kindness with one another. No one is alone here." Alger also said that Fortune was released from the hospital.
To learn more about the lives of these 3 students, pick up a copy of The Breeze on stands or go to our website. The Breeze is currently working on a longer piece to honor Luke Ferguson, Joshua Martis, and Nicholas Troutman. If you are interested in speaking about their life and legacy, please email us at jmubreezetv@gmail.com.
If you or someone you know needs support during these times, you can sign up for Timely Care at timelycare.com/JMU or contact the Counseling Center at 540-568-6552.
Abby Zwarner, the JMU alumna that was shot by her 6-year-old student on January 6th at Rich Neck Elementary School, was released from the hospital in mid-January. To show support for her recovery, Teachers for Change is collecting photos, videos, and any uplifting messages for her, quote, long road to recovery. The organization will be collecting items until February 12th. You can send them to their email, teachersforchange0@gmail.com. JMU's Student Government Association released a resolution calling for Narcan to be available in campus resident halls. Reporter Noelle James is here with Student Body President Shadi Bakhtiari and Emily Butters, the SGA Senator that proposed the resolution. Noelle?
Thanks, Eric, and thank you so much for your time, Emily and Shadi. We'll get right into it. So what is the Narcan resolution?
So the main reason why I wrote the resolution was not just about physically putting Narcan in these residence halls, but it's more about increasing awareness of what an overdose looks like, as well as providing resources in addition to actually having Narcan physically available to students in that time of need. So that was where I was coming from with writing it.
And what do you think that will mean for JMU students as a whole?
I think the big thing is about promoting harm reduction and also about addressing that these things happen, and that being informed and being able to know what to do in these situations is also very important, not just kind of ignoring the fact that they happen here at JMU.
Shadi, have you been listening to students, and if so, what are some of the responses that you've been getting on Narcan resolutions?
I think this is something that is really interesting and also extremely pertinent as far as it goes for JMU. I think that a big thing on campus that we really have to do, especially regarding harm reduction, is not being afraid to try to prevent things like this. Because when things like this happen, and they inevitably do happen or will happen in most circumstances, it's really important to put that step forward when we have the resources available. And so I think students are definitely interested. They're definitely, I've heard people really interested in learning how to administer Narcan, and so that's what a lot of students have been saying recently.
And a follow-up to that, so are there any conversations with JMU administration to when we're going to have Narcan available on campus and what that time frame would look like?
Yeah, so Emily can speak to that a little bit more because she's been meeting with our student affairs committee.
So I actually just had a meeting with them, and luckily there's already a lot of things that are happening here at JMU in order to actually bring Narcan on campus. They just told me that all the JMU police officers have been trained and equipped with Narcan, or certain police officers, but there is a police officer on campus at all times that does, as well as there's actually a JMU student organization that's going to be coming soon to campus, whose main purpose is going to be to both train students as well as provide resources on Narcan training so that students can both have it, know what to do, all that kind of stuff. So.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Emily and Shadi. Really appreciate you having on the show. Thank you so much. Eric, back to you.
For Black History Month, reporter Noelle James spoke with Monica Robinson, director of the Shenandoah Valley Black Heritage Project, about what it means to be a part of the program.
The mission of the Shenandoah Valley Black Heritage Project is to learn, share, and illuminate the rich history of African Americans throughout the Shenandoah Valley. So our goal is to learn as much as we can, specifically through the eyes of those who lived it or their ancestors, and share that information with the people around the valley.
Robinson also shares about her recent election to the Harrisonburg City Council and the impacts it had on her life, professionally and personally. To watch the full interview with Robinson, visit our website at thebreezejmu.org. Don't go anywhere, we're just getting started.
Head downtown and get ready to jam out this winter weekend.
And Harrisonburg's Downtown Renaissance hits 20 years of reviving the friendly city.
Then President Biden addresses Americans in the State of the Union address.
Stay tuned.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit, the one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. We now throw it over to reporter Abby Allard, who is live at Pale Fire Brewery. What do you have for us, Abby?
Thank you, Maggie. I'm here reporting live in front of the Pale Fire Brewing Company, where they will be hosting a free pre-party with artist Maya De Vincri, which will start from 6 p.m. and end at 10 p.m. tonight. Pale Fire Brewing teams up with the Red Wing Roots to bring live music, drinks, food to the Harrisonburg community during this cold winter season. Susan Keeler, the director of the marketing at Pale Fire Brewing, said she hopes to bring people together to celebrate and support local artists through these performances.
I want to keep seeing things like this, especially like connecting Red Wing to JMU and having some of these artists that play Red Wing Roots be at JMU. And then it just worked out that we get this pre-party and it ends up being this great winter weekend. Buy their tickets, they're available. Go to that festival, come check out our events calendar. We have music every Friday. Get out of JMU and see what Harrisonburg and the area has to offer, because there's a lot.
Musicians Steel Wheels and Sierra Hall will also be performing at Wilson Hall this weekend. You can find tickets at the Red Roots website for around $40. Well, that's all I have live for today. "20 years ago, the Friendly City looked different than it does now. A new mall turned once vibrant downtown into a ghost town."
Locals formed Harrisonburg Downtown Renaissance to revitalize the area, support local businesses, and preserve historical buildings. Community is one way Hunter Woodard, owner of James McCone Jewelry, describes downtown Harrisonburg.
If anybody's ever in need, this community steps up and rallies around those in need.
Woodard says that making connections within the community is what keeps places like this jewelry store afloat. Emily Winter, the director of marketing at HDR, shares a similar sentiment about the local environment.
You get to know your neighbors, you get to know people who live in the area, and there's like a really big sense of community and pride in our town.
Downtown Harrisonburg has expanded rapidly since HDR's founding, with 30-plus dining locations and a boom in diverse shopping places. One business has stood strong through it all. Gitchell's Photography is downtown's oldest business. Krista Gitchell, owner of the shop, says that time has gone by fast.
You know, it changes, it continues to change, and we've moved with the change.
Gary Steitler, owner of Glenn's Fair Price Store, credits HDR and the connections with local universities with the progress over the years.
It's brought back the public to the downtown.
As HDR celebrates 20 years of progress, Winter says the organization is already looking to the future of downtown Harrisonburg with its 2040 master plan study for the next 20 years. Reporting for Breeze TV, I'm Maggie Rickerby.
Back to you on the studio.
Thanks, Abby. Here to bring us the latest in politics, Breeze TV contributor Eleanor Shaw is in studio. What do you have for us, Eleanor?
Thanks, Maggie, and good afternoon, JMU. I'm Eleanor Shaw, filling in for Rugine Aranazari, and this is Breeze TV Politics. In the midst of political turmoil and the next presidential election on the horizon, President Joe Biden addressed the nation on Tuesday's State of the Union address. In his second State of the Union address on Tuesday night, during his speech, he addressed hot-button issues such as infrastructure, the economy, police brutality, China, the Russia-Ukraine war, and healthcare. Biden's address was punctuated by shouts, cheers, laughter, and applause, emblematic of the current divisions in Congress. Biden's guests included the parents of the late Tyre Nichols, the victim of a recent act of police brutality, and Brendan Say, the man who disarmed the perpetrator of California's Lunar New Year shooting. While Biden remained nonpartisan for the majority of his speech, during the latter parts of his address, Biden turned his attention to the Republican Party. One of the most notable instances of this occurred when he confronted the issue of cuts to Medicare and Social Security. He criticized Republicans for their efforts to make cuts to these programs, which caused great unrest in the crowd.
Some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority.
In spite of this, Biden called for unity and cooperation between the two parties.
The people sent us a clear message. Fighting for the sake of fighting. Power for the sake of power. Conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere.
The speech appeared to be polarizing among U.S. citizens, several of which took to Twitter to express their opinions on the matter. The State of the Union address has been widely regarded as being a soft launch for Biden's 2024 election campaign. This address has left the American public with one question: what's next? For more Outside the Valley, here's your national news rundown. Political division continues to manifest throughout the nation. The Republican Party continues to formulate restrictions on transgender health care nationwide. On January 29th, Utah Governor Spencer Cox signed a bill blocking minors from receiving gender-affirming surgery and banning hormone therapy indefinitely. Remaining in the western United States, Chinese balloons were observed floating in U.S. airspace. 2 balloons have been shot down by the U.S. China denies the balloon was intended to spy on the United States and alleges that it was a stray weather balloon. However, inspection of the balloon found it was intended to collect communication signals and was part of a fleet of similar balloons floating around the world. On the other side of the world, the United States is in the process of routing aid to Turkey and Syria through the United States European Command. This aid is intended to help the area recover after Monday's catastrophic earthquake. The earthquake is estimated to have killed nearly 20,000 individuals. South of the United States, Nicaraguans have released the 222 political prisoners in a deal with the United States. The prisoners were released by the Nicaraguan government on Thursday morning. The prisoners were originally arrested for dissenting against President Daniel Ortega. It is believed that Nicaragua is aiming to foster stronger political relations with the United States. Returning home, Virginia Democrats have been making moves to upset Governor Youngkin's plans for Virginia. On Tuesday, they blocked 3 appointees from Youngkin's from office. These appointees, Dr. Colin Green, Stephen Buck, and Suparna Dutta, were intended to be the state health commissioner and members of the parole and education boards, respectively. That's all for Breeze TV Politics. Maggie and Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Eleanor. When we come back on Breeze TV,
women's basketball crosses ankles against Louisiana.
And Kiki Jefferson's personal ties to Pink Out Night.
Then softball leads off their spring season.
We'll be right back.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun filet biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true. But it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Colby Reese. JMU Athletics has ended their busy week. Let's take a look. Women's basketball took on Louisiana last night at the Atlantic Union Bank Center. Both teams headed into the matchup with identical conference records at 8-4. The first quarter saw both teams struggle from the field. However, the Dukes were able to take a 7-point lead into the second quarter, where each side picked up the offense. Peyton McDaniel scored 8 straight points for the Dukes right before halftime, as JMU led by 9 at the break. In the third, Louisiana was able to gain some momentum and cut the lead down to 3 heading into the final frame. The fourth quarter saw back-and-forth action with neither team able to take control. JMU eventually sealed the win by hitting their free throws on Louisiana's take fouls. While rebounding was tied at 43 for the game, three-point shooting was a factor in JMU's favor as the Dukes hit 10 threes compared to 0 for the Raging Cajuns. Peyton McDaniel finished with 18 points and 4 three-pointers, while Mariah Stewart was the leading scorer for Louisiana with 17 points from the bench. Heading into last night's matchup, the team's focus was mental toughness. Head coach Shauna Reagan talked about how some certain factors have affected the team previously, like tough calls or missed shots, but credits his group for doing what it takes to win and focusing on the challenge like a, quote, championship game.
There's so many factors that can affect your toughness, and so I thought we were really resilient with that today, and I was proud of them for being gutsy and sticking this thing out.
JMU is now 19-6 overall and 9-4 in Sun Belt play, only a game behind first place Troy. The Dukes are back in action Saturday when they take on Arkansas State at home. In the win last night, the Dukes dressed in pink instead of purple. While the game was a big conference victory for the Dukes, the impact it made was bigger than basketball. Women's basketball held a pink out game on Thursday against Louisiana to show support for cancer awareness. Head coach Shauna Reagan spoke about the significance it has on everyone.
It's pretty safe to say I think everybody in the whole world has had somebody affected by cancer.
This game hits home particularly for senior guard Kiki Jefferson, whose mom has been in a fight against cancer since Jefferson's senior year of high school. The game of basketball has gotten her through the ups and downs of her mom's battle over the years.
It has always been motivation, but it gets hard, and that's where my teammates and like my family and friends step in and just keep me positive about the whole situation.
Seeing her teammates in the JMU community coming together in pink is a heartwarming feeling for Jefferson.
It means a lot. It just shows how much JMU and Coach O just care about me. They're doing this game not only for my mom, but they make it a lot about my mom, so it just means a lot.
O'Regan is proud of the progress JMU has had over the years and believes doing it 100% is the only way.
We do it all out, and I'm glad we do it that way.
Jefferson has one message for those in similar shoes as her mom.
Anybody out there is not in this fight alone. They have a whole support. All women's basketball, men's basketball, they have us.
Despite this being Jefferson's last pink out game at JMU, the lasting support from her teammates is endless. Reporting from a pink AUBC alongside Ellie Finza for Breeze TV, this is Colby Reese. Softball is gearing up for their first year in the Sun Belt. The team opened their season this morning with a 4-3 loss against Chattanooga and a 2-0 loss to Indiana State. The Dukes are hitting the field for the first time since the death of their fellow teammate Lauren Burnett. Our reporter Sam Reinert explores how the team has prepared for the season as a family.
After the conclusion of their 2022 gameplay, JMU softball plans to honor Lauren Burnett's legacy throughout their upcoming season. Over the offseason, the Dukes have worked hard to maintain their drive.
To be completely honest, every member of our team have kind of dealt and coped and handled things kind of in their own process.
Part of that healing journey involves getting to know each other before the start of the season.
We spent this fall really building our relationships and getting to know one another and figuring out what our purpose is. What are we playing for? What is JMU softball about?
Coach Laporte believes this is the hardest working group they've ever had, and it's visible on and off the field.
We've all bonded so well over this fall. It doesn't even feel like there's freshmen, sophomore. Like, we're all one class, we're all one team, we're all one family.
The effort that is put in prepares them for their entrance into their first season in the new conference.
The Sun Belt is stacked when it comes to softball.
With JMU being picked 5th in the preseason coaches poll, they play 3 out of the top 4 in the upcoming season. The competitiveness and want to get better will be evident through their dedication.
I think you should expect us to come out kind of like on fire. Honestly, our scrimmages have been going so well.
We've prepared, we've worked hard, and at the end of the day, we're going to show up. We're going to give everything we have. We're going to be resilient.
The team's first Sun Belt game on home turf is on March 10th, and the Dukes are set to put themselves on the map.
They're ready. They are ready. Now they just got to go out there and play.
Reporting from the mound for Breeze TV, I'm Sam Reinert.
That's all from sports. Maggie and Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Colby. We're entering the final stretch.
Fluffy friends on campus are students' best partners.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Rocketry Club takes off to the sky.
And get your morning kickstart at JMU's latest dining edition.
You don't want to miss it.
Bojangles, Cajun filet biscuit. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun spiced chicken breast filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Breakfast so good, we serve it all day. Get the best chicken biscuit. The one, the only Cajun filet biscuit. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun filet biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. The one, the only Bojangles. Bojangles! Cajun Filet Biscuit. Nothing compares to our signature Cajun Spice Chicken Breast Filet on a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit is so good, we serve it all day. For a limited time, get 2 Cajun Filet Biscuits for just $5. Bojangles, it's bow time. Head to Bojangles for a Chicken Supremes combo with your choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and a drink. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Tailgating is a song heard across campuses, parking lots, and open fields. They say this song can be heard elsewhere, and perhaps this is true, but it is nowhere near as bright, nowhere near as loud, nowhere near as triumphant as it is right here. Tailgating may not have been born here, but here is where tailgaters are born.
This is Breeze TV.
Welcome back to Breeze TV. If you're experiencing stress, anxiety, or depression, you might find comfort in a furry companion. Emotional support animals are helping JMU students get through tough times. Breeze TV contributor Maddie Gallagher has the story.
According to the New York Times, nearly 200,000 Americans have emotional support animals. With all the everyday stresses of being in college, many JMU students are finding relief in their pets. While there is no intensive training needed to be an ESA, they require a special set of skills that any pet could learn.
They need socialization, so they're comfortable in different settings, around different people, in different environments. And then obedience training would be a must, I would say. Just for basic manners.
JMU student Sam Ochoa says he believes in the benefits of ESAs. Lily, his Great Pyrenees, Newfoundland, and German Shepherd mix, provides emotional support and stress relief to him daily. He says Lily gets him up and active, which consistently boosts his mood and positively impacts his mental health.
They're beneficial for anybody who's going through something or has any type of depression or just any emotional damage. They can greatly benefit you and bring your mood and energy up, and I know that she always does that to me.
Another JMU student, Maddie Wise, says she got her pug, Frankie, because she believed he would increase her physical activity.
So sometimes I would want to be, laying in bed, but he motivates me to go outside and to take long walks, and it's just great.
She says she also finds therapeutic benefits from Frankie.
At night, if I'm having anxiety, which happens the most, he's always there for me. He knows when I'm upset or when I'm going through something.
According to Nawaz, there are 105 dogs in the RHSPCA. He says he believes at least 5 to 10% of those, with proper socialization, could make great emotional support dogs. He is encouraging students in need to go to rhspca.org for volunteer opportunities and fostering information. Reporting for Breeze TV, this is Maddie Gallagher.
JMU Club Rocketry tests their skills in NASA's student launch competition again this year. Outreach and STEM engagement lead, Grace Klein, is looking forward to competing another year with her team. The team is working on Project Zeus, a full-scale rocket. The rocket has cameras that can receive signals from NASA, take pictures, apply filters, and timestamp the photos. Klein said that the one-year-long competition has been a thrilling challenge for the JMU team. Klein attributes their success of the project so far to the JMU classes that offered her critical thinking and logical reasoning.
The opportunity to build a rocket and launch it and see your own work come to culmination at a competition is the best experience that I've had here at JMU thus far.
The team is aiming higher and hopes to improve on their most recent performance. Last year, the team won the Rookie Award, and this year they hope to win it all.
Need a pick-me-up? Merge Coffee has officially emerged in Taylor Down Under. The company, named after two families who combine their cultures and talents, has expanded their downtown location to JMU's campus, where they hope to build new relationships with students. Customer Jenny Day says that Merge Coffee stands out.
I feel like the vibes are just a lot better here. It's just so underground, it's not too busy around here. So I like that. It's not like a crowded dining hall or a crowded library. It's a great place to do homework.
You can treat yourself to a cup of joe Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in TDU.
Well, Eric, how do you feel about your first show at the Anchor Desk?
Well, it was really exciting. How about Elizabeth and Abby being on camera for the first time too? It was super exciting. It's just a great time at Breeze TV. I feel like a lot of people are really starting to get involved, and it's exciting to see the new faces on screen finally.
Yeah, and we just wanted to wish you all a happy Valentine's Day for next week, and we hope you get a chance to spend time with someone that you love.
We'll see you next time, same place.